Okay guys, what you're looking for on a river is sort of a holding area for the fish, and creases are very important. You've got this tree here and it's just deflecting the flow over the far side. You've got a groin over there again that's making it fast. Those fish are not going to be in that fast water. You've got good clarity today, so when you're grayling fishing, that is your most important bit. It is chucking it through today because of all the rain. And when I get to a swim, initially I want to find the depth. The grayling are going to move to that bait, but I still want it, the more colour, the harder you want to fish down on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is just lay the float out on that crease, and I'm just going to feed 2 or 3 bits of corn. That's all, no more. So it goes down with the float. I haven't got any bait on there because what I'm trying to do is find the depth. And straight away, that float went under. So what I want to do is shallowen up a little bit, because what I want is my bait just running through, just off bottom, and when that float goes down, it's going to be a bite. So again, just lay it out. I've just taken about 2 inches off there, a few bits of corn out with the float, and then just let that float go. Bringing the float back. There's no point trotting miles and miles down a river, because your sweet corn is going to drop quite quickly in here. You might as well walk down 20 yards and start a different swim and start trotting from there, because if you trot too far, you're just going to be trotting without any bait on. So I've just gone through there, first trot through, I got caught on the bottom, shallowed up 2 inches, and that didn't go under. So what I'm going to do now is just add a bit of corn. Now, getting that depth might take you 6 or 8 trot through, but it's worth it. There's not like, oh, how deep is it? It's about that deep. You've got to know your bait's just off the bottom. So what I'm going to do is just lay my float in with 4 or 5 bits of corn, trot that down. I would have shot that float down a little bit more, but the bites are really, really positive. And it takes a little bit of time to activate the swim, get those fish feeding. No point going any further than that. If I want to fish down there, I'll go and stand down there. That's the 3rd trot down. As I say, I'll do this 8 trots, and after that, I'm on the move. Grayling are very easy to spook. Again, even what you'll find is when you'll go in a swim, once you get a bite, you'll get 5, 6, 7 fish, and then it'll sort of tail off and it'll get harder and harder. And when it gets harder and harder, you just have to move. Go and find another swim and get it going. There we are, 4th trot down into a fish. If that's a grayling, I'm going to be a happy man. But that feels like a trout. And one thing I will say here is, if you think it's a big fish like this, there's no point trying to play it upstream through this flow. All your fish that you're feeding are here, so you don't want to spook it. So literally grab your net and go for a walk. So now I'm well away from where the fish are in that swim. So this fish twisting and turning isn't going to spook the others, because this is a trout. It's going to splash about. Literally enjoy it. I keep my rod tip very low to the river when I'm playing a fish. I think with trout, if you have the rod tip high, it brings the fish right up on the surface, splashing about your swim. You don't want that. You can see how fast this river is. So if you lower the rod tip, it normally stops those fish and they just start swimming upstream, which this is doing. When you're playing a trout or big fish like this, what you'll find is be ready when they shake their head. If they go boom, 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 be prepared, they're going to rip line off you. Oh, I'd love this to be a grayling, but it isn't. But don't get me wrong, big grayling, they're tail walk, like trout. They'll have you fooled. So there's no rush, take your time, enjoy it. We're on a beat where you're not going to get too many other anglers. It's not like a day ticket venue where you've got 20, 30 other anglers with you and you want to get in a swim, make the most of it, or you'll be going in a swim. Other anglers have been in and ruined it, caught a few. Here we can just take our time and just enjoy what we love doing, and that's catching fish. There are some big chub through here as well. It's amazing, some of these trout make you look silly, but they aren't actually as big as you think they're going to be, but they fight all the way. When those trout splash, that's what you don't want in your swim. That's going to spook all your other fish around. What we try and do here is unhook these fish in the water. Don't take photographs of them, get them back. They're byproducts, but I think because we're grayling fishing, we forget how beautiful and how hard fighting these fish are, and they are absolutely beautiful fish. As you can see, they don't come in that easy. Try and get the fish upstream if you can, your net downstream, and then basically let that fish go straight into the net. When you're fishing a centre pin, turn your ratchet on, or else you'll have a big tangle. And what we try and do is just unhook these as close to the water as possible. Look at that, just so lightly in that actual lip. That's how fine it is. And then back she goes, fight another day.
Right guys, as you've seen, I'm out with my mate Duncan, just on the river test, and just trying to catch some grayling. So thought I'd just get a shot of the first grayling that I've caught here today, hopefully one of many. And there she is, and in a typical grayling style, not wanting to be on camera at all, but beautiful fish. So let's get her unhooked and see if we can get some more. Be interesting to see whether or not you guys can hear any of this, because I'm right by a motorway bridge. Might not be, and they're also doing some work over there. Might not be the most idyllic of places to fish in terms of noise, but it is where I have got my first 2 pound grayling, and that's what I came out for, was to try and get a 2 pound grayling.
Yeah, so how can you sex them? How do you tell?
It's got a small fin, small dorsal.
Small dorsal.
So that's a female, but a huge female.
And that is 2 pound on the nose, literally. 2 pounds exactly. Chuffed to bits. Look at that. Beautiful fish. Ooh, there we go. Let's just give her a bit more rest and then we'll get her back. Absolutely awesome, £2 exactly.